We really need to talk about this word. Hi bloggers, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to hop on quickly and talk to you about the word girl boss and how it's sort of perceived in our industry. So last night, me and Tom were sort of having an inspiration session of sorts. It was quite spontaneous, and we were, planning for the future and thinking about different long-term plans for the business. And we were thinking about words that people relate to and words that people use. And the word girl boss obviously came up into conversation because it's really sort of used a lot. So I decided that I would do a poll on Twitter and Instagram just to get people's feedback and see if I could sort of like start a conversation. So I think I put something like, which do you prefer? Do you prefer the word girl boss, or do you prefer the word boss as a sort of singular, and then this could be used in blog like a boss or blog boss or something like that. And the feedback has been so interesting. I mean, personally, I thought that a lot of people would come back and say that girl boss was their favourite. They loved the idea of looking up to someone who's a girl boss, and but most people came back and actually said, I'd say that everybody came back and said that they did not like the word girl boss. And there were different reasons why they didn't like this word. A lot of people were saying that they feel the word is kind of, people are sort of past it now, it's outdated, it's overused, and it's a word that a lot of people said that they could not relate to on a personal or a professional level. So it was things like, and I think girl boss as a phrase sort of has this false expectation. That's what a lot of people were saying. They feel like girl boss has this false representation of what it's like to be a self-employed business owner. And a lot of people were also saying that it's quite unfair on the men because it really narrows those people out. And I know that my audience is probably 80% female, but I do have quite a few men in there too. A lot of people were saying that they couldn't relate to the word girl boss, and I think that this is because there is a false representation, an expectation of what a girl boss is. And I think that it sort of conveys that every girl wants to aim to have a successful business, and in order to have a successful business you have to be wanting to make six figures or else you're not successful. And it's just a false lifestyle that is presented to us, and I think people are seeing through that, which is why they can't relate to it. But then we get onto the word boss, and what a lot of people were saying in the feedback was that they didn't like girl boss, but boss they really did like. Putting it in a phrase like blog like a boss or blog boss, people absolutely loved that, and they found that really, really empowering. They found that much more relatable than they did the term girl boss. And I think the reason for this is that a lot of people now aren't striving to have everything. They want to do lots of things, but they want to do all of those things well. And it's not a dream of every single blogger out there to turn their blog into a business, and I think that's really refreshing. We all have lots of things that we want to do well in our lives, both professionally and personally. So I'll take myself as an example because I'm sure you can relate to these things. So personally, I want to create a lovely cozy home for me and Tom and our future family. I want to look after my body and fill it with good food and, stick to an exercise plan. And we also got our wedding coming up next June, and we want to plan an amazing day for that. And then professionally, I have my business, I have my blog, I have my YouTube channel, and a lot of people have their own business that's their main focus, or they have a day job, and they are happy with their day job or their business as their main focus, and then they have their blog on the side, which they are building up steadily. And I think for a lot of people, they are happy with that. They are happy to build their online presence and increase their visibility through their blog and social platforms alongside the day job or business that they have, which is their main focus. And that's why I think a lot of people relate more to the term boss, because it's like you can trust in the fact that you can absolutely, boss your blog whilst you are still doing all of these other things. So I just thought it was a really interesting conversation to have, and I would absolutely love to know your thoughts. So if you like the term girl boss, or you don't, or you just like boss in general, or you've got another suggestion, please do leave a comment and let me know, because I feel like this is something now that's sparked a conversation, and it would be really interesting to get more feedback from as many people as possible. If you like this kind of thing too, then please do subscribe, because it shows me that I'm sort of on the right path and I can create better content for you. That's all for today, bloggers. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And remember to keep managing your blog like a boss so you can get one step closer to a breakthrough. See you next time.